going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video I've got another deck profile for you guys, and this one's going to be a really fun one. It's going to be Mythical Beasts, which are coming out in the next set called Extreme Forces. So all of these Mythical Beast monsters are spellcasters, pendulums, and all with scale 4. All of the effect of gaining spell counters when a spell card is activated. Level 4s and unders gain 1, and over level 4s gain 2. And all of the effect of being activated in the pendulum zone, and then you can destroy them while you have no other cards in your other pendulum zone to activate their effect. So yeah, let's get on with the video. Mythical Beast Master Cerberus is the first card, which we're going to be talking about. It's got the highest attack in the whole deck, and this is the highest level. So basically, it's your most powerful monster. You can destroy him, and then add one level 7 or lower Mythical Beast effect monster from your deck to your hand. And his monster effect is each time a spell card is activated, he gains 2 spell counters. If you have 4 or more spell counters on your field, he can't be destroyed by card effects, and you can remove 4 to target one of your opponent's monsters, banish it. He gains attack equal to the opponent's monster that you banished attack, and he's going to have that until the opponent's end phase. And that's on top of his 2,800, which is quite high. Next we have Mythical Beast King Jackal. He works really well with Master Cerberus. His effect is you can special summon one face-up Mythical Beast Pendulum monster from your extra deck, except himself. So you can see straight off from that if you have him in your hand, you can activate him, destroy him, add King Jackal to your hand, activate Jackal, destroy Jackal, special summon Master Cerberus. So that's a pretty good combo, and Jackal's effect is you can negate an opponent's effect by removing 2 spell counters. That's monster effect, and then you can destroy the card. It's nice negating, and they both work really well with the next level 4 monster, Beast Basilisk. His effect, you can destroy him, shuffle one face of spellcaster pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, and then draw 1 card, except himself. But you're going to be wanting to normal summon him and use a monster effect, which is you obviously gain 1 spell counter if a spell card is activated, but you can remove 3 spell counters to return 1 Mythical Beast card from your pendulum zone or face up from your extra deck to the hand. So you will probably be going for Jackal because you would have destroyed him to special summon Cerberus, normal summon him, and then when you have enough spell counters, or you can just activate 3 spell cards straight off, or 2 because he'll be gaining 2 spell counters for each spell card to turn Jackal back to your hand, and then next time you can special summon another card. So he works really well with them too. Next we have Mythical Beast Medusa, which looks more like an octopus, but we won't talk about that. Beast Medusa, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard that you can place a spell counter on, which is pretty much all of your Mythical Beast monsters, and then special summon it and then place a counter on it. Monster effect is in the battle phase, you can remove 2 spell counters and then target 1 face of monster in the field, and its attack and defense become half. That's really good for when you're attacking and then activating while you attack to half the attack. And he has got 1500 attack as it is, so if that monster has less than 3000 attack, then you know half of it's going to be less than 1500. But I really like to use this card. It's very useful in most situations. Next we have Mythical Beast Garuda. He works like one of those Draco Slayers that you can destroy him and then target another spell trap card and destroy that as well, but like an MST but in your pendulum zone. And his second effect is actually pretty interesting. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can remove 3 spell counters from your field, special summon him from your hand, then return the monster that your opponent summoned to their hand. So it's like a compulsory, and you can only use that effect once per turn, and you gain the spell counter every time you activate a spell card. Then we have Mythical Beast Jackal, which is the last of the Mythical Beasts. He's the level 1 because he's like more like a tool. You can activate him, destroy him, and place a spell counter on your field. It's pretty much that easy. So you'll get 2. You'll get 1 from activating him, 1 for destroying him. But his monster effect is actually really good. Each time a spell card is activated, he gains 1 counter. You can remove 3 spell counters from your field, then tribute this card, special summon 1 Mythical Beast effect monster from your deck. That's from your deck, so that's really good. So, I'd be going for Jackal because he can negate monster effects. I do choose to play 3 of each Mythical Beast because there is such a limited number of Mythical Beasts that even 3 of each doesn't come to 20 monsters, but Again, you can play your Ash Blossoms and Droll and Lockbirds and Hand Traps, but I choose not to because I feel like playing more spell cards is better. I'd say for the monsters, for the spells, we have Raigeki. I didn't use Dark Hole because if you think about it, you're activating Dark Hole, not really getting any spell counters because you're destroying your monsters. So just Raigeki, destroy your opponent's monsters, you gain the spell counters. Next we have Megaton Magical Cannon. This is actually a really funny card. You can remove 10 spell counters on your side of the field, destroy all cards your opponent's side of the field. If you have 2 or 3 of your mythical beast monsters, including him, from one card you'll straight up get 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus, the field spell, which we'll go into later on. That's a really good card. Just play one of him because you don't want to be like drawing it first turn. Next, we play 2 Pendulum Paradox, a really good card late game, especially. You can add 2 face of Pendulum monsters with the same Pendulum scale but different names from your extra deck to your hand. You can see that all of them have the same Pendulum scale, so if you can add 2 different ones with different name to your hand. I actually chose to play Reasoning in my deck because you can see that you got level 8, level 6, level 4, and level 1 monsters. So because of the range of levels, it would be nice to use Reasoning. Next, we play Localized Trunade ×2. This is also coming out in Extreme Force. I think it's a really, really good card. You return all set spell and trap cards on the field to the hand. That says goodbye to Solemn Strike, Solemn Warning, Mirror Forces, any trap card that your opponent would activate in response to you summoning or attacking or doing something other than activating a spell card, obviously, otherwise they could negate it. So that works really well. For when you're going second, I prefer to go second because mythical beasts aren't very responsive. Other than Medusa or King Jackal. If you have, for example, Master Beast Cerberus, they activate Dark Hole. That's him gone. Or any other monster, that's just your monster gone because they most likely won't do anything in response. So that's why I like to play Localized Trunade. Not 3 because I feel like 3 would be too much, but 2 is a good number. 2 Terraforming for getting the field spell. Magical Boost is actually a very interesting card. I play 2 of that. You can send 2 cards from your deck to the graveyard. Target 1 card in the field that you can place spell counters on. Place up to 2 spell counters on it. Then if this card in its own possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 monster from your deck that you can place a spell counter on if you do place 2 spell counters on it. So that's and it's a quick spell, so that's really good. Next we play 2 Twin Twist. Oh wait, it was 2 Twin Twisters, but I chose to add another Terraforming in because you do need the field spell. So just 1 Twin Twister. It's fine if you're sending cards to the graveyard, because you can special summon them with Medusa. No issues there. Again, with Magical Boost, doesn't matter if you're sending monsters to the graveyard, you can special summon Medusa if you've got a. But that's just for, again, giving your monsters spell counters, but also getting rid of your opponent's back row. I chose to play 1 Monarch Stormforth. I think it's a really good card in this deck. Mainly because, for example, Jackal. You will mostly be using Jackal to activate, destroy him to special summon a monster from your extra deck. And then if your opponent does have a monster and you have Monarch Stormforth, you can tribute one of your opponent's monsters to summon Jackal. On top of that, giving your opponent spell counters because Monarch Stormforth is a spell. So I just play 1 of that. No soul exchanges because you do want to battle. Power of the Guardians, which is an equip card. You equip to any of your mythical beast monsters, and when it attacks, there's a spell counter gets placed on this equip card. Your monster gains 500 attack for each spell counter on this card, attack and defense. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 1 spell counter from your field instead. So that's a really powerful card to play 2 of him. 2 of this. Now for the field spell, the one that brings the whole deck together. Each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when it resolves. So for each spell card, when you have this on the field, you're going to be gaining 3 if you've got this, or 2 each time a spell card is activated, because one's going to go on the monster, one's going to go on the spell. And if a card with a spell counter is destroyed, place the spell counters on this card. So maybe you can use Dark Hole if you want, because your destroyed monsters counters will go on this card, but I'm playing it safe. I'm not using it. But that's just really good because your spell counters don't get wasted. When your monster is destroyed, they just go on this card. You can summon a monster, so you still have the same number of spell counters. Once per turn, if you would activate a card effect by removing a spell counter from your side of the field, you can remove that many spell counters from this card instead. Well, that doesn't really... Like, you would activate a card effect by removing a spell counter from your side of the field, remove that many counters from this card instead. You're going to remove it from your side... Like, if it's on this card, it's your side of the field anyway. And if this card would destroy, you can remove one spell counter from this card instead. So it does keep the card alive as well. The MST, you can just remove a spell counter. I play one magical boost just because I feel like you'd brick with more than one. But still an interesting card. Each time an opponent's monster activates its effect, you can place one spell counter on this card when the effect resolves, and you can send this card with 6 or more spell counters to the graveyard and one spell card from your deck to your hand. It's that easy. It's just there to collect some spell counters on the field because your opponent will be activating monster effects. So yeah, just one of that. And 2 strikes and a solemn warning just to stop your opponent from doing what they want. That's it for the main deck, 40 cards. For extra deck monsters, don't really have to use this, but you can if you want. I just chose to put one Lancelot in because of the Master Cerberus. He's level 8. He actually did win me one duel because I did attack the opponent directly. Utopia Lightning because you have level 4s. Silent Honorak, Castel, Abyss Dweller, and Gaga Cowboy because you do have level 4s. I just put some random XYZ monsters that I thought would work. And I only used Lancelot and that was it. I used Utopia and Utopia Lightning once as well. But that was pretty much it. You can make your extra deck whatever you want, but I feel like this deck doesn't mainly rely on your extra deck. But again, you can put any link monsters or whatever you want in your extra deck, but that's just, the main deck is what we're actually talking about in this video. It's the main thing. But yeah, that's my Mythical Beast deck profile for 2018, January. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can leave in the comments below what you think of the deck, or if you think I can improve it or I'm missing some cards. As first time around, I didn't know about the field spell, but then I found out about it, so I put it in the deck and changed the deck a bit. But it is a really fun deck. You can choose to add some hand traps if you want and get rid of some other cards. Must cards, you don't have to have Megaton, Magical Cyclone. You can just survive with one Terraforming, for example. You don't need Magical Burst, but they're all just good cards to have in your deck. And they've been working really well for me. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. And if there's any other deck profiles, leave it in the comments below. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.